Shut up and sit down.
Summit Kaiju.
Hey guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to create a custom background for your images that is non-destructive to the original. Let's begin. So first you're going to notice on the side here, you're going to have your layers panel, and what I've done is I've already loaded in the image by default. What you'll notice is that you'll have a little lock over here. In order to get rid of that, you want to double click it and just hit OK. Next, we're going to want to duplicate this layer, so you're going to want to hit the next keys, Command J if you're on a Macintosh, and what you can do is go ahead and get rid of this original layer down here, so that way when we get to deleting it we don't actually see the original one and it doesn't become confusing. Next, you're probably going to want to have a image that you've already determined for the background. I have one that I'm going to show you guys. So first of all, you see that this image here was taken up against a wall perhaps. This is actually a pretty good thing to do. Get a solid color in the background if you can. It makes it a lot easier to erase if you're going to be working with your figures and you plan on doing a custom background. So first you want to come over here to the bottom and you see this little square with the circle. This is your layer mask. You want to go ahead and click that guy. You notice that it created this little box on the side. You've got two of them right here that you can click back and forth, and my Wacom is getting stuck, but you can click back and forth here. You want to make sure that you're on the actual second layer here in the white. If you look over here in your color pane, you see that you have a black and a white square by default. The black actually destroys the background. The white restores the background. First of all, let's get into your brush, because you're going to need to use your brush, not your erase tool for this tutorial. And you're going to make sure that you have the hard brush selected, so that way you don't get any jagged edges or things that look like they're kind of fading along the edges. So what you can do is start to erase your background, and you notice that I'm on this layer over here, and I can very easily get rid of this stuff in the background. One thing that you can do is use your open brace on the keyboard and make your brush size much bigger so you can cover more surface area quicker. The last thing that you want to do is get in here and have a brush size that's so tiny that it's going to take you forever to delete the background. You're going to want to reserve the time for the tiny brush once you get real close to the details. So in order to get a really fine edge, I like to zoom in as close as I possibly can. You're going to want to make sure, like I said, to make your brush size much smaller. And what I typically do is I'll come along an edge here that I can find after I've gotten pretty close and do my first initial click, which it will delete some of the background here. And what you want to do to get a really great straight line is to hold the shift key after you click this guy, and you can travel up. You don't want to keep in mind that it's going to try to do a straight path across, so you don't want to get too crazy as far as going too far ahead. But what you can do is kind of use your eye to see what looks like a good path going forward to get a nice straight line. Suppose that you get in here and you've been working for a while and you notice that you've clipped off a good portion of the wing here. Don't worry, this is why I was explaining earlier that you can use your white brush to actually restore the original image. And this comes in super handy once you get into very complex photos, that if you do mess up, you don't have to literally try to go back and paste in part of the image or start over. That can be a pain. This will save you lots of time. Now that you have the background partially erased, let's go ahead and place in our image for the background. So you're going to go to File, Place. I've already pre-selected the background like I told you guys. I'm going to go ahead and place it. And you notice that it drops the layer on top here. What you can do is actually just hold your Shift key, and you want to hold the Shift key so you keep the image proportionate, because you don't want to stretch it if you don't hold the Shift key. This will prevent your image from looking warped. You can double click it, come over here to your layers panel and pull it right up underneath where you were erasing. And what you can do is come back here and click on the brush again and make your brush size much bigger, and get in here and start to delete away the background, so that way the image starts to appear as if you imagined it or how you plan on creating it. And really, a lot of times I like to see the background so I kind of have an idea of what the image is going to turn out to be, and it makes it much easier once you actually get up and close, like I said, to get rid of some of this excess background, while being super careful to make sure that you don't delete something that you shouldn't. And you notice that sometimes you'll get a little bit of this rugged edge here. What you can do is basically make your brush smaller here, and I like to take a step back after I've kind of trimmed away a little bit of this and see how it's going to look all the way from the background. And the thing that you got to keep in mind is that people are on mobile devices nowadays, and they're gonna zoom in and they're gonna pan and look at the small details, so you want to make sure that you get all this little excess in here, so that way your image looks realistic and believable once you have the entire background cut away. I think for this tutorial that concludes this short little tip, and I hope to provide you guys with more tutorials in the future, and I can't wait to see what entries you guys come up with.